All right. Why is the camera so damn dark? All right. Come on in. Come on in. Hey. All right. Let's have a conversation about something that's trending right now, and I can definitely. What up, James Ash? Kyria, what's up? I can definitely relate to this right here. Cause this is so real, and it's so real to a lot of people. Bishop Solomon, what's up, man? Hey, look, here we go. All right, so y'all know the what's trending topic. Everybody's talking about the whole McDonald's situation, which, by the way, sound pretty good right about now. Cause today Friday and I don't feel like cooking, and I don't want no fried fish. What up, Uncle Bruh? Love you. Hey, look. So here's the question. Here's the question. Let's talk. So what up, Erica? Love you. So McDonald's. So the man go and buy McDonald's for his kid, right? And he don't buy anything for the rest of the kids. Is that right or wrong? And I need to know what y'all thoughts are on here. Y'all hit me up. Share this video. What are your thoughts about if you got a kid by a woman that has other kids, bringing food or something to eat for your kid and not bringing anything for the other kids? Is that right or wrong? Is it right or wrong technically, or is it right or wrong morally? And let's talk about that for a minute, because I'm gonna give you a few things to think about. Is that the right thing to do? Now, the comedian side, if you just don't have it like that, is to go ahead and buy a double quarter pounder with cheese or whatever. Cut that baby into 4. That'll fill them up. Depends on how young the kids are, to make sure that they get enough meat, and get an extra large French fry. Get your kid a high C orange, because you have to establish that that's your kid. So get your kid a high C orange, and if she got 3 or more kids, she probably on WIC anyway, and let them drink juicy juice or let them get some water, because at least they getting some hamburgers and some French fries or whatever. But just to establish that this is my son, get your son a high C orange, right? A small or whatever. Let them drink a juicy juice or whatever in the refrigerator, because you still have to separate. Okay, you still getting some McDonald's, so they should be grateful anyway. So here's but for real. Me personally, I've been on both ends of that. One end, I had an uncle. I was living with my grandmama. And I've seen a cousin eat McDonald's in front of the other cousins, and I know how it felt, and it didn't feel good or whatever. Maybe, and I'm not blaming him, because maybe he didn't know that we were there or whatever. But I just know how I feel to sit up and have, as a kid, to have McDonald's or Burger King in front of other kids, and you don't get none. Okay, but let's talk about this. Let me say this right here. Now you sit up there and think of, and bring your kid McDonald's, right? Think about this. You bring your kid McDonald's, you bring your kids clothes and new shoes, you doing the right thing for your kids, as where their fathers might not be as active, right? Move that on down the line to 25 years or 35 years later, 45 years later, your ass old, and the very one that you bought McDonald's for turn out to be some shit and don't have nothing to do with you because they spoiled and entitled. And the very one that you also bought some McDonald's for one of the other kids, if you decide to bring all the kids McDonald's, it'll be the very one that's not your kid that might have to wipe your ass or hand you a glass of water when you can't do either yourself. So my message is to be mindful on how you treat children. You understand? So it's just being a man, and technically, yeah, you're supposed to feed your kid, but morally, in just my opinion, my humble opinion, and if it was me, I would go in there bearing gifts to all the kids. And we all done dated a woman with kids before, as we get older, and you ain't gonna mistreat no kid, because you got to be nice to the kid. I'm sure y'all done bought food for kids that ain't yours before, so I don't even see what the big deal is or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or go over there and blow the horn and have your kid come to the car and let the baby sit in the car and eat the McDonald's or whatever. But Sarita said something important, that her conscience would not allow her to do that. And my conscience wouldn't allow me to do it either, because it's just not the right thing to do. But remember this though. Remember this. Don't forget this. Remember this. Remember this. That very kid now that's not yours might be the one to take care of you. And don't ever forget, when we start, children remember. Children remember. Let me tell you something about my sister dad. My sister dad name is Robert Robertson. And he one of the greatest men that I know, because my dad died when I was 6. And my mama and Robert got together, and my sister was born 6 years. My sister is 6 years younger than me. And he ain't never, ever came to our house and picked up my sister and looked at me and said, "Ricky, put your shoes on." And I'm looking around like, I'm going? Hell yeah, you going. Come on. He never came and picked my sister up and then picked me up. He treated me with kindness, treated me with love. The first man to ever take me to Six Flags. He took me to Disney World. We drove down to Orlando because he drove charter buses. And he took me everywhere. And he died this year. I'm still sad about it. I'm not going to talk about it much because I'll start crying. But he never made a difference. He never made a difference between us. And even when I became successful, he never asked for anything. And I tried to give him stuff and he wouldn't take he wouldn't take a dime from me. He said, "No, I'm straight. I have everything I need." And I just never met anybody like Robert Robinson. And I had a chance to look him in the eye and tell him how much I loved him, and let him know on several occasions how much I appreciated him before he closed his eyes and left this earth. And as a grown man, and I tell you what, nothing that I had was too good for him. And he's not even my biological dad. That's my sister's dad. When he bought McDonald's for her, he bought McDonald's for me. When she went to Disney World, I went to Ricky, put your shoes on. Ricky, pack your bag. Rick, get your stuff together. And I mean, and I do remember times where he came and took me fishing and my sister didn't go. He came and took me fishing. He spent quality time with me. This is my sister's dad. So I'm just one of those type of men. I just believe that I don't care whether you in a relationship or a friendship, man. You just don't go out and just ignore a child, especially when you see that a child has a need, especially when it comes to food. Now let me clear this up. If the mother is nice, because you get more bees with honey than you would with vinegar, you ain't entitled to anything. The only thing you entitled to is him taking care of his kid. Anything else is extra. So throw the whole attitude out the window. Well, what about the rest? No. Do it with love and kindness. Say, hey, I know you coming over here. I know we only have one child together, but we struggling right now. Or can you just come and pick your pick up little run and let him go out to the car, take him around the corner and let him eat the Burger King and bring him back, and I'll just feed the kids something else? Or could you be kind enough to bring something for everybody? I'll even go in half, which that's what co-parenting is. Or whatever. You know, you ain't just co-parenting your kids. And then, you know, a good dude like me, or like a lot of men, will come and take all the damn kids to the amusement. You can't even go and take your kids to the circus. And then he come back with the little play sword, and he been to the monster truck, and he got all this stuff, and the rest of the kids. And then you're going to make the rest of the kids hate and envy that kid. And then that kid get bullied and mistreated. So we have to be mindful and thoughtful and do the right thing, because remember this, and I'm going to say it for the third time, and it's my last time saying it. You know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going. And you don't know which one of them kids going to have to wipe your ass or hand you a glass of water. And it might not be the one that's yours. And it probably won't be the one that's yours. These spoiled and entitled ass kids, you sit around here and do something for a couple of kids, just a couple of things, and some kids are so loyal to man, they'll take care of you for the rest of your life. Cause you like, hey, Uncle Rickey, I remember what you did for me, which wasn't a whole lot, but hey, you know you welcome to come stay here. You live in the guest room. You don't have to pay no bills. We're gonna make sure you good. I'm telling you, be mindful how you treat kids. That's a real good, even though they probably was playing, but that was a real good conversation and a real good topic, because I've been I've been the child that have had McDonald's eating in front of me while I'm sitting. I don't think the family member knew that we was over there, but we had some pinto beans and neck bones, and her ass sitting at the table eating McDonald's, and them damn French fries look like the French fries that's up on the damn screen. They look really crispy. The light, the dining room table, man, them damn French fries was lit up like they had LED lights in them hoes. And we sitting over there, big ass bowl of pinto beans and some neck bones. I'll never forget that shit. And then she sitting up there, she's sitting up there eating them little hoes, eating them French fries. She eating them hoes one at a time, like she was teasing us. We over here in the den, and she over there in the living room, and she holding the French fries up to the light, eating them bitches like that. Just enjoying herself. She had to be about 3 or 4 or whatever. And by the way, she's a principal. She's a high school principal now or whatever. And that's why I teased her about her ear. But I don't think he knew we was over there. But she sat there, she eating that, and she had that big ass, it was a regular hamburger, but she was 3, so the hamburger looked like about that big. She holding that bitch, she biting that hamburger. Wasn't even hungry, wasn't even eating it all, just barely eating them. Like, if you don't want the shit, give it to us. Me and my sister, we over there with some damn pinto beans and trying to suck the meat off a neck bone. This shit was a horrible day. So I've been on that end of it. Now the other end of it, I just always just try to take something for all the kids and just trying to do the right thing. So don't forget that. Do the right thing for the kids, right? You just never know. Thank y'all for watching this video. That's my response to it. We talked about it on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show this morning. Share this video and tell all potential stepdads. And then, hey, here go the nigga side. Look. We really don't like them other kids anyway, but you want to hit, so you got to bring the McDonald's, bro. Especially if she fine. If she fine and you trying to hit, you just can't. Or if you still hit, you just can't take your kid McDonald's. Don't take nothing, the other kids McDonald's, especially if you still smashing, bro. She's still fine. So go on and get the goddamn kids some McDonald's. Or go to Little Caesars and buy a $5 pizza.